तं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी आष्टातदेशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you all for our weekly Gita class. Param Dalapuru, you are going to do screen share.
Yes, Prabhuji. 1 minute, Prabhuji. Sloka number, Prabhuji, 4th chapter.
I think the 7th shloka.
1 minute, Prabhuji.
Okay. So today we are doing the 4th chapter, shloka number 7 onwards. So from this shloka 7 and 8, Krishna explains the reason for his appearance. So these are like some of the most famous shlokas in the Bhagavad Gita. So you all can repeat text 7 after me. Yada yada hi dharmasya. Shloka number 7 onwards.
Yada yada hi dharmasya
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य
अधर्मस्य
तदात्मानं सृजामि अहम्। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजामि अहम्। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजामि अहम्। The word to word meaning is like this: Yada, whenever, Yada, wherever, he certainly, dharmasya of religion, glanihi, discrepancies, bhavati manifested, becomes bhavati manifested or becomes bharata, the descendant of Bharata, Abhyutanam predominance, adharmasya of religion, of irreligion, tada at that time, Atmanam self, Srijami manifest aham I. So the translation is like this: wherever and whenever there is a decline of religious practice or descendant of Bharata and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So this is like a very famous shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is saying, wherever and whenever there is a decline in religious practice and an increase in irreligion, that time I descend myself. So in this verse, Krishna explains the reason for his appearance. When does Krishna come? Right? So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, the word Srijami. Srijami basically means creation. But in one sense, the word creation cannot be used for Krishna because Krishna's body is not created. So Prabhupada explains that Srijami here means manifest, avatar. The Lord takes avatar. Right? And Prabhupada explains here that even though there is a specific time in which Krishna appears, in one day of Brahma, so every day of Brahma has 14 manus, right? 14 manus, and each of the manus has 71 yuga cycles. So Krishna appears in the this is the 7th manu. Am I correct? 8th manu. Sorry. Krishna appears in the 8th manu, 28th millennium. This is when Krishna appears. So right now, it is the 8th manu who's there, and it is the 28th yuga cycle going on. And in this yuga cycle, Krishna appears.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
7th Manu, Prabhuji. Why was 7th Manu?
Prabhupada has written here 8th Manu. I'm just reading from the purport. Yeah. So Prabhupada explains here that even though there is a specific time in which Krishna appears, but he is not bound by rules. He can choose to appear whenever he wants. Right. So Prabhupada explains here till this point the word Srijami. So Prabhupada's purports are very systematic. So Prabhupada takes very important words in each verse and then explains it. So Srijami means manifest, or he takes avatar, right? And the next word Prabhupada stresses on is the word dharma, because Krishna says here, whenever there is rise in irreligion and decrease in religion. So now one has to understand what is the meaning of the word dharma. So very often people use this word dharma, but people don't understand what is the actual meaning of dharma. So there are different understandings of dharma. One understanding of dharma can just be duty. So someone can say, my dharma is a dharma of an engineer or a doctor, you know. So these could be dharmas. But the actual meaning of dharma is principles laid down by the scriptures. Just like if someone is a citizen of a particular country, citizen of India, there are certain rules and regulations that are there in the scriptures, in the constitutional book. So those become dharma, right? Those constitute the dharma. So similarly, for all of us, we are there in this world, there are certain rules and regulations we have to follow. And this is called dharma, the principles of religion. And can anyone manufacture these principles? Can someone say that, you know, I have created a new system of dharma? That is not possible. Dharma means it has to come from that Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the definition of dharma is dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Whatever Krishna speaks, whatever comes directly from the mouth of God, that is dharma. What it means is no one can manufacture dharma. No one can say that, you know, I got an inspiration, so I am creating a new religion. Religion cannot be created new. In fact, when we saw in the previous verses, if you all remember, Krishna explains that, my dear Arjuna, I am telling you Bhagavad Gita now, but this is not the first time I am telling you Bhagavad Gita. The same Gita I have spoken to the sun god, to Manu, Ikshvaku. So Bhagavad Gita is not something new. Even Krishna is not manufacturing a new Gita. It is the same Gita that has been coming down since the time of creation. So the purpose of the scriptures is so that we can understand the principles. So we are all there in this particular world, and there are certain principles that are governing this world. So we need to understand these principles. And Prabhupada explains that ultimate, see, there may be a lot of rules and regulations in the scriptures, but the ultimate purpose of all the rules and regulations is so that we can surrender to Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, which is like the standard book of religion, Dharma Shastra. We were discussing this in our Purvaram Gita class. The first word, the first letter of Bhagavad Gita is the letter Dha. Bhagavad Gita, the first sloka of Gita is Dhritarashtra Vacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. So the first letter of Bhagavad Gita is the letter Dha. And the last letter of Bhagavad Gita is the letter Ma. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Tatra Partha Dhanudhara, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. So the first letter of Gita is Dha, and the last letter of Gita is Ma. And between Dha and Ma is Ra. So Bhagavad Gita is the book of Dharma, Dharma Shastra. And what is the essence of that Dharma? It is that last verse of Bhagavad Gita, the conclusive verse, Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. So Prabhupada explains here, the purpose of the Vedas is so that we can surrender unto the Lord. That is the highest goal and the end of religion. Just like the Bhagavatam says, Savai Pumsa Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adokshade Ahetuki Apratiyata Yayatma Suprasidati. So Sutta Goswami explains in the Bhagavatam that the highest religion is to completely surrender unto God without interruption and without condition. So very often in this world, people practice religion, but only for a small time and for certain conditions. People go to temples. Why? Because they have certain desires to be fulfilled. You have certain desires to be fulfilled, you go to a temple and perform a ritual. That's it. So people's connection with God is only for a short time, and that too for a certain condition to be met. But the Bhagavatam explains that the highest religion is performing bhakti to God with great intensity. Tivena bhakti yogena, with great intensity, without any condition and without any stoppage, without any interruption. So this is the highest kind of religion. And Prabhupada explains ahead in the purport. Can you go slightly down? Yeah. So Prabhupada explains ahead in the purport that you take the example of Buddha, for example, right? Buddha is one of the avatars of the Lord. Why does Lord Buddha come? So when at a particular time, when people were killing too many animals, even though there is some provision for animal sacrifice in the Vedas, but people were misusing it. People were doing a lot of animal sacrifice. So the Lord became so compassionate, he comes as Buddha and he stops this animal killing. So Prabhupada explains that every avatar, so this verse and the next verse speaks about the topic of avatar. So every avatar of the Lord has a certain purpose. It has a certain purpose. It's just not that, just like that the avatar has come. There is a certain purpose. Just like Lord Buddha comes to stop animal killing. Lord Ram comes to kill Ravan and perform the pastimes of Ramayana. Krishna comes to kill the Asuras, all the other Asuras and perform pastimes in Vrindavan. So every avatar has a particular mission and a particular purpose. And no one can manufacture avatars. If someone tells you, I am also avatar, you have to first ask them, where is your name mentioned in the scripture? Which scripture your name is mentioned? This is our duty to find out. Just like if you are going to the market to buy diamond, if you're going to the market to buy diamond, and if you don't know what is diamond, then what will happen? People will fool you. So similarly, if you have to surrender to a particular avatar, you first have to know what it means to be an avatar. Who is an avatar? Who is a bona fide avatar? It has to be mentioned in the scriptures. Until it is mentioned, you can't accept. So Prabhupada explains here that it is not that only in the Indian soil the avatars of the Lord come. The Lord can come anywhere, in any circumstance he comes. So sometimes he comes on his own, and sometimes he sends his representatives. He sends his servants, he sends his devotees. But the purpose of the avatar, or the purpose of the Son of God, or the empowered acharyas, the purpose is the same. What is the purpose? To reclaim all of us. So when Krishna is saying here that when religion is decreased, when there's decrease in religion and increase in irreligion, what it means? It means when people go more away from the principle of bhakti. Religion ultimately means bhakti. Right? There are secondary religions, but the primary religion is bhakti. So when people become more and more materialistic, they forget their connection to God. That time God comes very mercifully so that he can establish that connection back. Right? That's the whole purpose. Right? So we have to be very grateful to the Lord that the Lord has taken so many avatars. And in this land of India, there are so many unlimited avatars of the Lord. You go anywhere, any part of India, you'll find some holy place, somewhere or the other. North, south, east, west, anywhere you go, you'll find some holy place. You'll find Tirthali, you'll find stories of great devotees, you'll find deities there. So the Lord is giving us so many facilities. So the Lord sometimes comes as his own avatar. Sometimes he comes in the form of the deity. Sometimes he comes in the form of the holy dham, so that he can give us a chance, so that he can actually establish the principles of religion back. And Prabhupada continues ahead in the purport. Can you scroll down, Roji? Yeah. So Prabhupada explains here that just like in maths, you have you may have 2 plus 2 is 4, right? So you may have lower mathematics, higher mathematics, but mathematics is the same. Similarly, there may be different kinds of religion. In some religion, some part of knowledge may be revealed, and in some more may be revealed. But all of them, their purpose is the same. So the purpose of every religion is the same. And what is the purpose? To revive Krishna consciousness, to revive God consciousness, which is there dormant within our heart. That is the purpose of every religion. So that's what Srila Prabhupada explains here in the purport. We'll read the next verse. The next verse is also a very important verse. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Word to word. Paritranaya, for the deliverance, sadhunam, of the devotees, vinashaya, for the annihilation, cha, also, duskritinam, of the miscreants, dharma, principles of religion, samsthapanarthaya, to re-establish, sambhavami, I do appear, yuge, millennium, yuge, after millennium. Translation: in order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. So this is also a very famous verse in the Gita. Practically most people know this verse. So Krishna explains here that another 3 reasons why he appears. First is to protect the devotees. To protect the devotees. Second is to annihilate the miscreants, to destroy those who are following the path of adharma, those asuras, the demons, to destroy them. And third is to re-establish religion. So, this theme we have been discussing in the fourth chapter, that the system of religion is there, but in due course of time, religion tends to get lost. Tend to get lost means it gets diluted, right? So, in our childhood, we have all played this game of Chinese whisper, right? No. So one child tells some one line in the ear of the next child, and it keeps passing like this. By the time it comes back to the original child who had started that sentence, it is always slightly twisted. There is a tweak in it. So similarly, religion starts like that. It starts crystal clear, but then in due course of time, there is some deviation, some dilution that happens. So when it gets too diluted, Krishna comes again to re-establish the principles of religion. So here again, Srila Prabhupada explains few words in this verse. The first word is the word sadhu, because Krishna says here he comes to protect the sadhus. Paritranaya sadhu nam. So who is a sadhu? Prabhupada makes it very clear. A man in Krishna consciousness is called a sadhu. So sadhu doesn't always mean that he has to be in a saffron dress or in a dhoti kurta. A sadhu means one who is a devotee of God. He is a sadhu. And the opposite of sadhu is a sadhu, one who is not a devotee of God. So Prabhupada explains a very important point here, that even a devotee of God may be uneducated or he may not be well cultured. But if he is a devotee of God, he should be respected as a sadhu. Krishna explains ahead in the Gita. There is this two shlokas in the 9th chapter, very famous. Where Krishna says, Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat dharma nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. The previous verse, Krishna is explained. I forgot that verse. I think that's 9.8. Where Krishna says that even though a devotee may have some accidental fall down, such a devotee should still be respected because he is a devotee of God. So that means this is a very important point, that if someone is trying to sincerely serve Krishna and he may still not be completely pure, he may still have faults, he should be respected because he is a sadhu. And on the other hand, someone may be well cultured. You may have someone in this material world who is like well cultured, well mannered. He speaks very nicely, very politely, is completely a gentleman type person. But he is not a devotee of God. Such a person cannot be calculated as a sadhu. So what it means is, a devotee of Krishna who may not have all the saintly qualities still is far more better than one who is not a devotee of Krishna. Why? Because he is a devotee of Krishna, very soon he will become pure. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat dharma nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Krishna says, because such a devotee will definitely become pure because he is in connection with Krishna. So this should be our faith. Our faith should be, we have more love and respect for the devotees, even though they may not be educated, they may not be well cultured, right? They may not have all these cultures, but that's okay. Because he's a devotee, he should be respected. I remember years back, we had attended one seminar, Bhakti Sadachar seminar, years back, and the speaker, Brihat Bhagwat Maharaj, he was giving a very nice example. He was explaining this point that a ripened, a raw devotee, a devotee who is still not ripened, is much better than a non-devotee is fully ripened. That means sometimes we may have an experience that we may come in association with devotees, or we may meet some devotee, and the devotee may not be very sweet. He may be very strong in his speech. He may be very kadak. But still, such a devotee is far better than a materialist who is a gentleman, because he's in connection with Krishna. Such a person is a sadhu. So this is the first point that Srila Prabhupada is explaining here. Who is a sadhu? A sadhu is one who is a devotee of Krishna. And who is an atheist or who is a Dushkriti? Dushkriti means demon. So the actual meaning of the word Dushkriti, Kriti means activities. Dushkriti means those who are doing demonic activities. So you find in this world, there are many people who do activities, right? But most people, their activities are demonic. They want to destroy nature. They want to do so many wrong things. So such people are called Dushkriti. And Srila Prabhupada explains the example of Ravan, Hiranyakashipu and all these personalities. These are Dushkritina. These people are demonic. So Krishna comes to protect the devotees and to destroy the non-devotees. So the Lord does two things in one time. He protects the devotees and destroys the non-devotees. Just like Narsingadev appears, he protects Prahlad Maharaj and he kills Hiranyakashipu. Just like Krishna appears to protect Devaki and Vasudev and to kill Kansa. Right? Lord Ram appears, he comes to give protection to Sugriva, the Ayodhya Vasis and all the devotees who take shelter of him, Vibhishan, and the Lord comes to kill Ravan. So these are two purposes of the Lord. But of both, Prabhupada explains, the main reason, even though Krishna says here, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashayata dushkritam. He protects the devotees and kills the miscreants. But the main purpose of the Lord is to give protection to the devotees, to give happiness to the devotees. Because to kill demons, the Lord doesn't have to take avatar. You see, to kill Ravan, the Lord doesn't have to come. Because the Lord is sitting in Ravan's heart only. If he just blocks the heart of Ravan, Ravan will die there only. So the Lord comes to give pleasure to the devotees. The Lord comes to give pleasure to Sita, to do pastimes with Hanumanji. The Lord comes to give pleasure to the Vrajavasis. And killing the demons happen simultaneously. So that is not the main purpose of the avatar. So can you scroll down, Param? Yeah. So that's what Prabhupada is explaining here. The main purpose of the Lord is to give happiness to the devotees. And Prabhupada quotes a verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srishti hetu ye murti prapancha avatare se Ishwara murti avatar nama dhare mayatita paravyome sabhakara avasthan vishwe avatari dhare avatara nam. So what is the definition of avatar? Avatar means that God who descends from the spiritual world to the material world to perform a particular pastime is called an avatar. And then Prabhupada explains various categories of avatar. So if you get time, the next session, we will do like a proper PowerPoint presentation and explain the various avatars. But Prabhupada explains here the various categories of avatars. So this also, most people in India don't know. People in India know Dashavatar. That's all. That is the only knowledge people have. But actually, there are unlimited categories of avatars. That is why Chaitanya Charitamrita is one book that explains all this topic in detail. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is like a master book. It's a postgraduate study book. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he's giving these teachings to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, he explains very systematically the various categories of avatars. Purusha avatar, Guna avatar, Leela avatar, Shaktavesh avatar, Manvantar, Yuga avatar. These are the various categories of avatar. Purusha avatar means the three types of Vishnu. Shirodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Mahavishnu, they come under Purusha avatar. Guna avatar is Brahma, Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. Leela avatars are the lords who come to do particular Leelas. Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Varaha, Narsimha, like that. Right? And then you have Shaktavesh. Shaktavesh avatar means any personality who is empowered by God for a particular purpose. Just like you have Narada, you have Prithu Maharaj, you have Chatush Kumar. These are Shaktavesh avatars. Then you have Manvantar. In every span of Manu, as I was telling you, in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. That is just in 12 hours of Brahma. Like this, there are so many, Brahma has 30 days in a month, like this 12 months. So there are so many Manus that are there. In every Manu, span of Manu, there is one avatar of the Lord that comes, that is called Manvantar. And then in every yuga, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, in every yuga, there is a yuga avatar who comes to establish the yuga dharma for that particular age. And then Prabhupada comes to the main point, which is something that's very important for us. Prabhupada says that, especially in the age of Kali, because we are now in this Kali Yuga. So in the age of Kali, the Lord comes as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Varnam Tusa Krishnam Tango Pangasa Parshadam Yagye Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. The same Krishna comes in Kali Yuga to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. This is the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga. Krite Yad Dhyayato Vishnum Tretayam Yajato Mage Dwapare Paricharyayam Kalo Tad Hari Kirtanat. In every Yuga, there is a particular Yuga Dharma. In Satya Yuga, you do Dhyan for thousands of years. In Treta Yuga, you do Yagya. In Dwapar Yuga, you do deity worship. But in Kali Yuga, the Lord comes and gives a very simple process. Kalau Tad Hari Kirtanat. He comes to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. The Lord appears, in Navdeep. He takes sannyas, comes to Jagannath Puri, and he's performing this Sankirtan pastime so that he can give everyone an opportunity. So these two verses, Krishna is explaining the purpose of his advent. What is the main purpose of his advent? To establish religion. To give, and what does religion mean? Religion means to give people a path. So religion is like a path. How to go back to the spiritual world. We are all lost in this jungle. But this material world is like a jungle. Just imagine you have entered a jungle, you're lost in it, you don't know how to come out. So when you see a path, you can walk on that path and come out of the jungle. Similarly, to come out of this forest of material world, the Lord comes and gives us a path. And especially in Kali Yuga, which is like a very dense and dark age. Kali Yuga is like a time when everything is dark. Imagine you're walking in the night, there is no light at all, there is no sun, there is no moon, there are no stars, pitch dark. That's Kali Yuga. And the Lord comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give us this path, the Yuga Dharma. And what is the Yuga Dharma? The Sankirtan movement. And Srila Prabhupada explains here, the avatar of Lord Chaitanya practically goes village to village. Lord Chaitanya, after taking sannyas, he comes to Jagannath Puri. From Jagannath Puri, he goes to South India, walking all these places. He goes to Vrindavan, Jharikhand forest. So he's going village to village, town to town, and giving everyone the process of Krishna consciousness, the process of Sankirtan. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, the devotees of the Lord are very much attracted to the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya. The Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya is so great that those who are intelligent will be attracted to this. In fact, the scriptures explain that even demigods take birth in the Sankirtan movement because this is an easy way in order to approach God. And Prabhupada also explains here, one should not think that Lord Chaitanya is a manufactured avatar. No, mention of Lord Chaitanya is there in various scriptures. And Prabhupada quotes, it is there in the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned in the Mahabharata, so many scriptures it is mentioned. And this avatar is the most merciful. Prabhupada mentions this also. So the Lord explains here two purposes for his avatar. What are the two purposes? To protect the devotees and to kill the non-devotees, to kill the asuras. Right? Just like Krishna comes to protect the Vrajavasis and kill Kansa, Bakasur, Agasur, like that. But this avatar of Lord Chaitanya, he doesn't kill the demons. He makes the demons into devotees. So that means the Lord is coming to give pleasure to devotees and to make demons into devotees and then give them pleasure. So that is why the avatar of Lord Chaitanya is the most merciful. Parama Karuna Bahutui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra Sabavatara Sara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda. So this avatar of Lord Chaitanya is the most merciful avatar. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratishve Namaha. Rupa Goswami glorifies Lord Chaitanya, saying that this avatar is so merciful that he is freely giving everyone Krishna Prem. That love of God, which is very rare to achieve, he is giving everyone. So Prabhupada mentions this point that those who are intelligent will worship this avatar and take to the Sankirtan movement seriously. So when Krishna is saying surrender unto me, that is the highest form of religion. In Kali Yuga, that surrender is done by chanting the holy names of God. So this is where we have to focus on. And if we do this, then we can experience the avatar of God. So many people have this question that in Kali Yuga, there are so much problems. Just like today, in the afternoon, someone had called me and someone was telling me that, I just saw Kashmir files. Kashmiri Pandits went through so much problems. Why did God didn't come to protect them? So many people have this question that Kali Yuga is increasing so much. Where is God? Why is God not taking avatar? So the God has taken avatar in the form of his holy names. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. In Kali Yuga, the Lord has appeared in the form of his holy names. We need to have faith in it. So with this faith, if we chant the names of Krishna, the names of Krishna, the holy names of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra can completely remove all the uh, negativities in Kali Yuga. So if we actually want to make some substantial contribution in this world, and if we want to make this world into Vaikuntha, a place where there is no problem, no anxiety, where everyone is happy, everyone is living together, that can happen by wholeheartedly and with full faith taking up to the Sankirtan movement. And this is the unique avatar of Lord Chaitanya. He's come to introduce all of us and to give connection to this merciful avatar of the Lord in the form of his holy name, in the form of the Sankirtan movement. So we will stop here for today. So actually we are all in Jagannath Puri. So today is our last day of our yatra. So we just want to have like a quick darshan of Jagannath before we leave tomorrow morning from Jagannath Puri. So we will end for today. Anyone has any questions, any comments? So we'll continue from the next verse the next time. Anyone has any comments, any questions? You all can raise your hand.